Welcome to News Today. The headline news. Bayelsa State Deputy Governor Ewhrujakpo Lawrence slumped and died. The news in full. Bayelsa State government has announced the shock and sudden death of Deputy Governor Senator Lawrence Ewhrujakpo. Lawrence slumped and was rushed to the intensive care unit (ICU) of the Federal Medical Center (FMC) Yenagoa, the state capital. He was later confirmed dead on Thursday, aged 60 years. The deputy governor was said to have slumped at around 1:30 p.m. on Wednesday in his office. Although there was no official release regarding the cause of his health issue, but reliable source said that it may not be replaced or it may not be unconnected to the cardiac emergency. Those who knew him very well describe Lawrence as, quote, workaholic deputy governor, end of quote. The Commissioner of Information, Orientation and Strategic, Ms. Ebio Koku Obiai, said Lawrence was active and carried out official duties earlier in the day of earlier in the day, quote, by Obiai. He collapsed while proceeding to a scheduled meeting within his office and was rushed to the Federal Medical Center, Yenagoa, where he was later confirmed dead, end of quote. Quote again, Obiai said, quote, his demise is not just painful, it is a great loss to the government, people of Bayelsa State, and the nation. Senator Ewhrujakpo was an accomplished public servant who served the state with distinction as Commissioner for Works and Infrastructure, Senator representing Bayelsa West Senatorial District, and Deputy Governor since 2023. End of quote. Quote again, Governor Donye Diri, that is speaking on behalf of Governor Donye Diri right now. He's speaking on behalf of him. Quote, Governor Donye Diri, on behalf of the governor and people of Bayelsa State, express heartfelt condolence to the wife, Barrister Mrs. Beatrice Ewhrujakpo, family, Ofoni Federated Community, Senator Henry Cherokee Dixon, and all citizens of the state. The commissioner also announced that the state government has declared a state mourning for 3 working days to honor the late deputy governor, starting from Friday, December 12, 2025, while all flags are to fly at half-mast. The Commissioner of Infrastructure said the governor prays for God, comfort, and strength for the family and the entire state. The former governor of Bayelsa State and senator representing the Bayelsa West constituency, Senator Cherokee Dixon, said that that in December will remain one of his saddest days. Quote, I have been saddened and heartbroken since his death was confirmed. We have lost a most selfless, dedicated, honest, and loyal public servant and politician. I have personally lost dependable, loyal, and principled mentee who was committed to the cause we pursue in public service. Service to God and humanity, and to ourselves the least. End of quote. Quote again by Dixon, Select Dixon. Quote, Dr. Ewhrujakpo was clearly the best among my political mentees. A rare combination of competence, intellect, loyalty, and selflessness. End of quote. Quote again. He proved himself, especially at difficult times, as a politician of principle and conviction. I had mentored him to be over the years that I have mentored him over the years. He exemplifies the art of living a simple life with profound impact. Ewhrujakpo was irreplaceable, formidable, intellect, and learned, emotionally stable, mature, and principled. End of quote. Quote again. Since our paths crossed in the 90s, I took him under my wings when he was a union activist and I a legal practitioner. He drew He drew inspiration from our interaction to pursue further education and was inspired to study law after his first degree, which he took all the way to doctorate, even as a very busy man. When I became Attorney General. He was my PA. When I was elected to the House of Representatives, he was my senior legislative aide. He was my senior legislative aide. When I became governor, he served as a commissioner of works for almost 8 years, dedicating all his time and energy to executing law landmark infrastructure achievements across the state, even during the crippled recession. Lawrence was a steadfast, loyal, respectful, and full of gratitude. End of quote. Quote again. There's no one who did not feel his impact of his service. The open door policy and life of service exactly as I taught him, and without betrayal to me or anyone. He listened to me or anyone. He listened to wise counsel and advice, which I was always available to give. End of quote. Quote again. No one is more affected by this sudden loss than I am. Apart from his immediate family, no one is more affected than I am apart from his immediate family. It will be difficult to fill the void he has left my heart in the heart of Bayelsans, or of Nigerians, and of humanity that encountered him when he was alive. He followed strictly the creed I teach. All my mentees, service to God, to ourselves, and the least. End of quote. Quote again. While we are dedicated by this sudden and uncertain loss, while we are devastated by the sudden loss and untimely loss, we must remain proud of his record of honesty, dedicated, selfless, loyal, and principled service to God and humanity. To the very end, he will be seriously missed. In fact, I do not believe I can find any replacement for Dr. Lawrence Ewhrujakpo. End of quote. Sally Emmanuel, reporting from Ghana.